words don't appear, then there isn't separation of church and state. It's a myth, they like to say. It's a myth made up by judges and the big bad ACLU. And if there is no separation of church and state, then why do we have these restrictions, like on tax dollars to church-run schools? If that's in our Constitution, we need to remove that, because that's discrimination against religion. The issue isn't that the words don't appear there. What is the policy ramifications of saying that there is no separation of church and state in our Constitution? And the ramification of that is government funding of religious institutions, of churches, the dismantling of our public education system. This country is the most heterogeneous country on the face of this earth. We have more racial groups, religious groups, ethnic groups. This country, the glue that holds this country together, the glue that has held this country together, is a public education system in which people from all walks of life come and share the same experience and learn what it's like, what it means to be an American. You need to appreciate that if you don't know now, you're going to get hit in the face with this in 2012, I guarantee you, is that what the other side, and here the other side, I spent 8 years of my life as the ACLU director fighting the Jeb Bush administration on everything from abortion to Terry Schiavo to vouchers and everything. You need to know, as represented by Jeb Bush, who is the articulate leader of this movement, is that the goal here is to replace the public school system with a system alongside of it of what's called parental choice, vouchers, where monies go directly to, not to the public school system, but go directly to parents who choose which school they could send their children to, and they could send their children to private schools. Understand that private schools is a political euphemism, because 85% of all private schools are church-run schools. So what we're going to have in this country is the balkanization of America. We're going to have one homogeneous religious group living next to another homogeneous religious group living next to another homogeneous group. Not all these groups coming and having a shared experience and learning what it's like to be an American. That's the ultimate policy goal of when some idiot like Christine O'Donnell says, oh, the word separation of church and state don't appear in the Constitution. It's not the words, it's what the ultimate policy goal means from that. So that's one of the problems we have, as I said, is that is becoming the mantra. I mean, what we're having in this country is that one political party has become an anti-teacher union party, an anti-public education party, and a pro-voucher and pro-use of tax dollars to support church-run schools party. And that's beginning to break down along partisan lines, unfortunately, more and more, which makes it harder for us to maintain our nonpartisan position. And there are so many other ways in which this country is becoming polarized, in which the politics of this country is becoming polarized along political lines and on civil liberties issues. And I'll give you just a couple of horrible examples. The integrity of our election system is, there are people willing to throw out the window the integrity of our electoral system for the sake of some perceived partisan advantage. This is going to be the most expensive off-year election in the history of this country. And we haven't even seen the last week yet. They're saving up their money to pour in the last week. Okay, they may have a right to do that, but they're refusing to allow people to know who the large donors are who are funding it. They all have these phony names, American for apple pie, American for this. But what they blocked in Congress was at least letting the American people know who's behind it. So for some perceived partisan advantage, they're willing to throw out the integrity